everybody. Welcome to a behind-the-scenes segment of the NOVA Open Charitable Foundation. I'm joined this evening by Bob Likins. Bob, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Things are really wonderful, actually.
Man, that's cool. So we were just talking before we were recording about all the work that you've done for NOVA Open and the NOVA Open Charitable Foundation throughout the years, man.
Yeah, it's been quite a bit.
Well, I mean, it's okay. So uh, originally, you just rolled in as I think as a participant, and then as the years gone over,
Close,
what's that?
close, man. Nah, I didn't just roll in as a participant. I crashed the party at the very first Nova Open. I showed up unannounced, unbadged, and just kind of wandered in and started taking pictures like some weirdo. It was actually
Okay.
a lot.
Were you a mini gamer beforehand? I mean, probably, right?
Truthfully enough, yeah. I mean, I've been a gamer. I've been gaming in one form or another since the mid '80s. So yeah, I there was an older podcast. It's not around anymore that I knew were going to be there, and they were coming all the way up from South Carolina, and I was determined to meet these people because I've been listening to them for quite a while, and so I got there and I looked around. There was nobody checking anybody in, so I just kind of like ducked my head down and went in and started looking around and
The
kind of.
early days.
The problem was I had no idea what these guys looked like.
Oh, that's the problem with podcasts. Yeah, you can't tell.
I was literally walking around and like turning an ear so I could hear the voices. And it's like when I recognized somebody's voice, I was going to come over and go, "Are you that guy from, such and such?"
Yep. Oh,
Like,
that's really cool, man. Well, at some point, you made the jump into like, yo, you can help out with this stuff. And I think you've gone from almost like terrain guru, terrain manager, to now, flash forward uh, to this year, and maybe the last couple of years, but now you're almost like a mini medic.
yeah, yeah. One of the main jobs I do right now is all the stuff coming in for the NOCF. I anything that gets a little banged up or whatever in shipping. Usually it's just little pieces coming off and things like that. I spend the time. I sit down and fix them.
Well, this
And
stuff, I mean, I know the painters when they ship it off, it's gorgeous when they did it. It's, and it makes its way to you, but then it has to come through a lot of miles before it reaches over to where we start taking pictures of it and get the stuff up on the screen, and as great as some things can get packed, gentle things can happen, and you're there to help.
that's what I do, man. That's what I do.
Well, I know people appreciate it because again, people get these pictures up there and we get to see them. We get to get excited about it, and then they eventually get packed carefully in the box again and shipped to anywhere in the world.
And yeah, and that is also a part of what I do as a job. One of my jobs is also to get the cases from KR,
Yep.
and I'm the one that goes in and measures out exactly how to set them in because a lot of them aren't custom because they don't. The folks at KR have no idea what these models are. Special ones are shaped like or whatever. I
Yep.
mean, we custom for some, but for some of the more regular ones, but a lot of times it's just a pluck foam, and I'm the one that has to go in and kind of like sketch it out and figure out what it needs to be, and just get it to fit so it's not going to break.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
yeah, and I will spend days sometimes doing this. I'll do it over the course of several days. I think over the summer, Dave Taylor gave us donated an army of Space Marine of Ultramarines that was like over 200 models
It's a
that had to
beautiful army.
yeah, and it had to be put in I think 4 or 5 of the KR boxes to fill it all up to get it all through, including all the tanks and everything. It took a while. It took about 4 or 5 hours to get all that packed away properly. But
Well,
yeah,
you know that the recipient though just loves it, and that's going to be the forever home for these models in the great containers from KR, snug, safe, and made it anywhere it needed to go.
hmm oh yeah, the models are fantastic, and yeah, it's almost like growing. It's almost like kids leaving home pains his own
Yep.
path. It's like I will never
Uh,
see that again, probably, but
we've talked about that with some of the artists. It's like you spend this loving time getting these beautiful creations. I mean, knowing it's all for a good cause, and then going to a great home and people that really care about these things as well. But you feel connected to it at that point. You're part of the story. You're part of that models and there
yeah,
are that army or titans or whatever journey for the rest of his life.
yeah. And this last couple of times, the summer and then this one, we've tried this new thing where we're doing the basing. Well, we're having the basing done by a separate artist so that they all match, and then we're
Consistency. Yep.
and we're doing all the mounting at the NOCF headquarters, where we're actually forming into teams, and we're actually like everyone picks an army, and then we work on that army to get everything to look
Yep.
right, and that way we can get the feet is it planted right. We get everything. We match. If there's touch-ups that need to be done to make the feet match a little better, we can do that there. We've got a full setup to do all that. So we got paints and everything else. Almost never have to do that, but you never know if like sometimes we've seen like where the paint will chip off of a foot or something when they're breaking it off of the
Their
base
mount or whatever. Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, and so we got a little dot of black paint there, here, that just enough so that you don't, just enough so that it stays beautiful. You know.
Yep. And these are some gorgeous armies up there right now for raffles. And look, you've got to see them all in person. What do you think?
Oh man, I'm telling you, that there's so much good stuff. There's I personally focused on the Sisters of Battle Army this time. That one was pretty much assigned just to me to do all the mounting and
Okay.
everything. That one,
I hear that's a good one.
it is solid, and it's huge. I mean, it is a massive army. I mean, I've been playing for this stuff for so long that I remember when the days when, oh, the Sisters have had the same line for 10 years, blah
Yep.
blah blah. It's
20
like
or something or more. Yeah.
it's like the same 20 models, and it just repeat them over and over again. That's your whole army. And now they've got one of the most gorgeous lines that the GW does. I mean, these are just breathtaking.
I completely agree. I mean, those models are the way the slopes, the lines, it's a really great line, and somebody's going to win that.
Yeah, and the folks that worked on this army, because they were using a pre-decided Maniac, I believe. I watched his video. He laid out a tutorial of exactly how to paint the stuff, and almost across the board, everybody just followed his tutorial the way it was supposed to be. It was no real, there was no real complications there. I mean, everything
That's awesome.
And they photograph well, and they look good in person. I mean, it's everything you could want.
Heck yeah. Well, Bob, man, it was absolutely great to check in with you. And this we're in the final hours here. Is there any encouragement you can give to folks that may be on the edge of getting a couple of tickets? Why should they do it?
Well,
what's this all about for you?
Well, basically for me, it's just the enjoyment of getting to do it. I love seeing models. I mean, that's why I got into paint judging. That's why I got into all this other stuff. I don't do it because I have some weird need to be like the boss of people. I just like to see people's models. I love seeing people's work, and this is like one of the greatest experiences at it. I mean, this stuff gets sent directly to a place where I can just go through it and just look at it. I think for anybody that's into 40K right now, because that's just what they're focusing on at the moment, and I'm sure in the future they'll do other stuff too, or at least. Well, actually, no. There's some Infinity stuff in there too, I guess.
Yep. A beautiful box set, starter set, I think, of Infinity.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of, if you're even into it, this is a fantastic way to get something totally done. All you got to do is pull out of the box and just start using it. They're absolutely gorgeous, and they support amazing causes. So there's it's nothing but good. It's good. There is no bad in this situation.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming and spending some time with me. And let's look forward to closing this thing out. We're going to jump back into the booth.
All right.
We'll see you.